Welcome back, everybody, to the Unmask Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Kaylee.
And today we have our special guest, Rachel, with us. And she's with us to talk about our episode theme, High on Life. Mm-hmm. She runs a cannabis company and has been a lifelong ADHD as well. So we're here to pick her brain and get her perspective on...
Do you want to know a side note?
Yes.
I'm not actually ADHD.
Oh, no?
My parents have had me tested several times. My good friend lives in California. His dad was a movie producer, so had tons of money. Okay. So he has a trampoline in his backyard. So we decided we were going to do Adderall. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to find out for real life if I need it or not. So at first it made me really calm, and everyone's like, see? Guess what? Smoked a little bit of this. I had to go outside and get physically removed from the trampoline. I did 246 back tucks in a row. So guess who does not? We're assuming Adderall and me, not fence.
Interesting.
Okay.
But so weed made me normal, and then the Adderall kicked in.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, this is my medicine.
But that's what leads us into the fact that everybody's unique.
I was like,
one size does not fit all. One prescription is not for everybody. Just because you fit into this category does not mean that solution is for you.
Right. And so for so long, this had such a bad stigma that this was my negative choice. But really, this is what, I joke, no one wants Rachel on a tea break. That's why we have CBD. That's why we have CBD, guys.
Do you find a lot of a good use with CBD?
Yes, because CBD, a lot of people don't know, CBD, which these are even out, so these are our CBD chocolate. Straight CBD, if you get it from a hemp plant or from a CBD isolate, CBD and THC are best friends. So if you consume CBD, it cleans out your receptors, so you use less THC to still get high, because your receptors are not clogged with old THC that's not working anymore.
Interesting.
That makes sense. Why I prefer to buy cannabis that has a higher CBD concentrate in it, or ratio to it.
Yes.
Because I like the way it makes my body feel better.
Well, that's why Hippie Chicks, yay Mike. Mike is the owner of Hippie Chicks, the creator, amazing genius. So he does our medicated chocolate, 2 parts THC, 1 part CBD.
I like that ratio.
You have to, if you can't beat them, you join them. We got tired of fighting with stoners to take more CBD, so we do it for them. And you get a much better high, and if you've had our chocolate or our gummies, it's a much better high because the CBD and THC are best friends, not enemies. So depending on when you take the CBD, if you're too high off an edible and you take CBD, it actually makes you higher, so you go to sleep, and then you sleep off the THC, and then you wake up less high.
Interesting.
But if you take the CBD before, it acts like a best friend with the THC and pulls the THC through your body quicker, so you get faster, quicker.
Interesting.
And usually higher.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I've always learned everything you buy usually has no CBD or very little in it.
Right.
And then what they tell you is it's just the opposite. It's it'll cancel each other out.
Yes, because whoever taught that, I would love to meet them in a room with a bong and give them a couple of puffs, because they are incorrect. So I am out there on this mission to teach everybody the truth about CBD.
That's something that I just learned.
Yes, and that's why we used to, in our boxes of medicated chocolate, put an even out in the bottom. And I used to tease everybody that was your parachute.
Cute.
If you eat too many, then you eat that, and it still makes you higher, puts you to sleep, but you wake up less high.
Interesting.
Because your brain doesn't use off THC. CBD will magnet to it and pull it out.
Oh, interesting. I love that. See, that's why you're here to teach us new things.
I was on that note, I'm going to set my crown down.
And honestly, now that we're not talking about your ADHD journey, we can talk about your knowledge about all things cannabis and the logic science side. Because I did want to address is that, not a lot of neurodivergent people, especially ourselves, use cannabis to function throughout the day or at night to wind down because our minds are so busy. Because otherwise you're medicating yourself with Xanax or something. The doctor will give you stuff that you get hooked with and you're like, well, this isn't any better. I'm still reliant on something.
Sleeping meds, anything like that.
Yes.
While we're on that topic, I think the biggest thing about mental health is getting good, refreshing sleep.
You're right. That's what my psychiatrist says every single time I go.
Telling you, it's all about sleep because that is when your body recharges, regenerates,
as well as just food and hydration. That's the craziest thing. It's like we don't think that just feed ourselves the proper nutrients, give ourselves enough water and sleep. Our bodies are magic. Like they're well-made machines that are made to fix themselves. It's only when we keep damaging over an extended period of time does it really cause the cancers or the problems, that we don't, we're not always aware. But it's so fascinating that we just like that, just having enough sleep.
Well, and then I have another twist for you guys. I know everyone thinks THC makes you sleepy, puts you to sleep, and it does. Mm-hmm. But THC also has some downsides to it, where it can make you feel groggy the next day. Mm-hmm. You don't get full sleep because THC messes with your REM cycle, and we need our REM cycle to get good sleep. Yep. So it makes you groggy, gives you the munchies, and doesn't keep you asleep. Dun, 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 dun. So hippie chicks, we have a sleepy gummy and sleepy chocolate. We took the THC out. It's just CBN and CBD.
No, it's CBN.
CBN is the endocannabinoid in marijuana that's actually specifically for sleep. It shuts your brain down. So I think about the N, you flip it on its side, it's a Z. Okay. So CBN is for sleep. So I was a guinea pig for a bunch of different formulas. This we found was the best. Okay. It's CBN, CBD, no THC. Because THC puts you to sleep quickly, but it doesn't keep you asleep. Mm-hmm. With one of these, I get 6 to 8 hours of like pure great. You wake up non-groggy, refreshed.
I should get those for my dad.
He cannot sleep. They don't get you high. So for older people, for people that don't like THC, perfect. We have these in gummy forms and chocolate. And we'll do the plug at the end so you can go to our website.
No, I genuinely love that.
Amazing.
Amazing. The whole business, everything that they sell there is amazing. I'm not just saying that. We're not paid to say this. Like, I genuinely love their
for a lot of people that question sleep and use melatonin, I prefer CBN over melatonin. It's more natural, and our body actually makes... It has an endocannabinoid system. So it's not like we're not similar to marijuana. Marijuana gives us what our body already makes. It just amplifies it.
My ex, he was very knowledgeable about THC and stuff. And he really... I have been a stoner since I was 13, 14. But I always just smoked. I never went that deep into it. I always just smoked. Whereas he was younger than me. And so he... grew up with more doing dabs and doing all these different forms of it, and so he really got me educated me on it, and I never knew that humans have that, and dogs. Is that true?
And
mammals, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's mammals. I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's a bunch of receptors, and so it holds different things in our body and releases different things, and that's why when THC, your receptors are too full of THC, those receptors are not collecting anything anymore. So it's taking more and more and more to get high. So that's why your tolerance is increased. So if you add CBD to your diet, it cleans out the old THC that's not getting you high anymore.
Interesting. And I love that how it doesn't mess with your REM sleep. You said you do actually dream on the CBD.
It is amazing. Yes, wow. It is awesome.
So I will say that is a part of going to bed on THC is that you don't dream, and it's just you pass out and wake up.
Yes. You're just unconscious.
I was like some of us. I have crazy vivid dreams on marijuana, but I also...
You're the opposite.
I smoke indica all day for pain. And then if I want to crash out, I smoke sativa because that'll knock me out within 20 minutes.
Yeah, so I smoke indica at night.
Because indica, they say, and I love how you go to dispos and they're like, indica in the couch. Wrong. Indica is for pain or relaxation. That is why a lot of people go to sleep. Because indica is a body high.
So that's why I like it, because I like more of a body high.
Well, and I do too. I smoke it all day because for pain. But if I wasn't on it, I'd probably be on ridiculous pain pills. I mean, my arm is probably at about, on a good day, a 6. It's never a 0. I know. But
that's a great way, and I haven't even to that too, is that to use it for pain is because everything they are prescribing us are either, now they got just a Tylenol, Advil mix.
So, right.
And they give you that, and because they won't give you anything else. But that's terrible. You can't be on all those things.
So, yes. I mean, and obviously, I'm older than most, so smoking, I feel like smoking every day and your whole life, I feel like that takes a toll on your lungs. So lately, in the past few years since my surgeries, because I couldn't smoke after my surgery, I got cut in the my tummy. Edibles have been my best friend because you can eat them. They're very discreet too. If you, I mean, look, you pull this out. Besides the fact that the wrappers are super cute, I mean, nobody knows what's in there. Exactly. It's a chocolate.
You know what that'd be so good with? As a s'more. That's like the perfect size.
We have our 4th of July one that just came out called Blast is s'more flavored.
But I was saying if you make a s'more with
it. Absolutely.
Like a real one
has graham cracker.
Oh, no, you gave it to me. I tried it. It was so good.
Yes. What I do is I get the big marshmallows because I'm not a huge graham cracker girl. So I get the giant marshmallows, melt the marshmallow a little, and shove the chocolate inside the marshmallow, and that's my s'more.
That sounds great.
Right.
That's a great little trick.
So, yeah. The other thing I do with these is take a mug of water, microwave it. Take your chocolate, leave it in the wrapper, throw your whole chocolate in the boiling water, pull it out, it's completely liquid, cut the corner, and pipe it into coffee. Or on chocolate chip cookies.
Or on strawberries.
Ice cream, or on strawberries. For Valentine's Day, I did basically coated them with all medicated chocolate.
Oh, I love that.
So,
coat yourself whatever you want.
So I was like, it all works. I mean, it's amazing. But there are so many options for edibles. There's gummies. There's
you don't just have to roll up a joint, or a bong or anything like that. There's so many different forms, different ways.
I was like, we'll just even do a little experiment right now. Fizzies, yay Michelle!
I'm excited for this.
Michelle
I've never
Mango
tried this.
Makes fizzies. She has all different flavors. You take a fizzy out. This is regular water. Absolutely. You can even do the magic.
Oh my gosh, look how cute those are. They look like Squid Games.
Right? I was like, so toss one in there. I was like, I'll move this box out of the way so we can see. I was like, fizzies.
Oh, you want me to put one in there?
Fizzies, yeah. Like,
okay, let me do the red one so we can.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'll put the green one. That's fitting. Okay, here we go.
Ready. And it goes down. It is going to fizz up, so it also has benefits if you have a tummy ache. Because of the fizz, it helps get rid of tummy aches, indigestion, period cramps, and you throw it in your water bottle, and it's on the go.
So what's
you don't even know.
So it is 10 milligrams of cannabis. 10 milligrams of THC. She is working on stronger ones. Right now it's 10 milligrams, but I'm sure you can see it working. It works in any liquid. So if you wanted to get twisted and throw it in alcoholic beverage, you could. Iced tea, soda, anything you want. I have it in the water just so you can see it working. You can see all the bubbles.
That is so
cool. Thing, right?
I love to use cannabis for nausea, and so this would be so good.
It's amazing.
Amazing. That would be so good.
Hangover treatment right here. Flu, literally stomach aches, anything. After my surgery, I lived on these and gummies.
Do they taste good?
Amazing. It's very low calorie because she does not do any artificial flavor or colors.
Nice.
So, which is great for cancer patients because a lot of people don't know cancer patients shouldn't have dyes in their bodies. Cancer patients also need to have very low sugar. Sugar is very bad for cancer patients. It's like a hot spot.
But a quick side note, sugar creates an acidic environment which cancer thrives in.
Exactly.
So if you want to rid yourself of a cancer-like environment, you should be a more basic diet, alkaline diet.
So, I was like, throw in some fizzies.
Yeah, there you go.
That is
right? That's so cool.
Cool. Okay, let's talk about pups and pre-rolls because that's really why you're here. What is pups and pre-rolls? How did you get started? Why are you doing this?
So excited. Pups and pre-rolls is my baby. I started it it was an idea in 2017. It came to fruition basically 2019. I teamed up with Desert Tales in 2019. Pups and pre-rolls are basically my two favorite loves, puppies and weed, and I put them together because there was really a big stigma for me growing up. I grew up in the late 70s, 80s. We used to hide to smoke our
It was illegal,
and I was a competitive gymnast, dancer my whole life, so I've had aches and pains since I can remember. The marijuana has really helped with a lot of that, and looking back now, self-medicating, you're young, you don't know, you just know it makes you feel good. And I also felt way more in control when I'm high than when I'm drinking. So to me, drinking has never really been an option because I don't like being out of control. So I was the one that would like sneak at camp in the water bottles. Whoops. Hi, camp friends. Smoking a pre-roll in my water bottle. All the sneaky ways. That was me. Yes. Shouts out to my friend Tarla, who's in Israel. We were always in trouble going to the bathroom, getting a drink. We would always say the wrong answer, but we're out smoking.
Isn't that crazy how illegal and like how...
Well, I mean, we were kids, so yeah, we were like junior high, yeah. So,
but even for adults, everyone had to hide it.
It was super taboo, absolutely. Which I feel like leads me to a lot now where I work with seniors, and it's still to some of those generations so taboo. I also feel like a lot of like the military people I work with,
it was
very
a
taboo.
crime.
Yes, where my dad. I'm so excited. He uses my sleepy gummies, sometimes the sleepy chocolate, but my dad was super against cannabis, so that was a fight in our house growing up. I was not going to make anything of my life because I was a stoner.
But it's so funny, but if they do drink, they're probably avid drinkers, right?
My dad's alcoholic. Yeah, drinks every night.
It's so funny, it's a generational thing. We all smoke weed, they all drink.
Right? I mean, it was crazy because alcohol was fine. He would offer me that, and I was like, no. I was like, I don't want that. But my sister, I mean, she chose drinking over smoking. And it's crazy. It was a whole different path. But I feel like talking to my dad about it now and getting his input, him telling me, because, if you used marijuana, you were basically like a criminal. You were anti-American. And that's obviously not a thing anymore.
They made it very racist.
They made it like that. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy, like the different races that have used marijuana for medicine since back in the time.
Since before we even have documented.
Forever. I mean, and also other ways you can use it for pain too that I should probably mention. My friend uses RSO, Rick Simpson oil.
Yes.
In the belly button.
Whoa.
Because where are all your nerve endings?
Oh, that makes sense, because that's when people put like castor oil and all that.
Yes, so you put a little squeeze of RSO in the belly button and then cover it with a Band-Aid. And it stays in there. It's great for period cramps, great for Crohn's disease, great for all sorts of stuff. I mean,
so it's like a sublingual kind of thing.
Yes, it absorbs into your bloodstream instantly. So I was like, I wish you guys could see I have a puppy under the table. Obviously, puppies love me.
We have our own pups and pre-rolls over here.
Right. So pups and pre-rolls, basically my heart. I combined my two favorite things, and I set out creating events to medicate people, but also raise money for the shelter at the same time. And then it's
I met you.
Right, and then it's kind of evolved into more of like education and medicated events, because I feel like without education, cannabis, it's really a misunderstood plant, and it's amazing. And it just blows my mind that, I mean, this grows on its own. I mean, marijuana grows by itself outside. I've seen some of the greatest plants ever with hardly any care. And
it used to grow wild.
Right? I mean, and it's got so many amazing benefits.
It is really crazy, especially when we do talk about the alcohol affliction. I feel like, you never get really high and just go terrorize your life. You know what I mean?
Most stoners aren't causing violent crimes.
You're like, I'm terrorizing my life without this.
Right? Well, that's why I joked when they used to have the commercials back in the day, and a dare was a big thing. And of course, I say dare, drugs are really excellent, because some of them are great. I love psilocybin too. Also illegal, but headed down the right road.
Things at the right time,
right.
Moderation.
It's coming.
Moderation. That's exactly what I say. Is moderation is the key, and also knowing your own limits, because I think a lot with self-medication, people don't know their limits, so they push it too far. And so I think knowing what you're medicating and going down that route is, I mean, I also even with the pain creams, like cannabis has come so far.
Oh my gosh,
Hippie Chicks also makes like a CBD pain cream and a THC CBD. Before THC, the molecules were too big to absorb through your epidermis.
Okay.
So for me, when I would use THC pain cream, I didn't like it because all it would do was numb my skin. It didn't absorb into your bloodstream. So you're like, it was very limited on the help it did because my inflammation inside it wasn't doing anything. It was just, so now my arm's numb. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I used to teach gymnastics cheer, coach gymnastics cheer. I'm going to hold a child with a numb arm.
Yeah. That
doesn't seem smart. But yet they were also telling me, oh, take pain pills.
Oh,
yeah. A foggy brain, you're holding a child. No, thank you. And then none of that sounds okay, right? So I'll stick to my marijuana, but I need to find the right stuff. So I used to gravitate just towards CBD. Because CBD, the molecules were small and they would actually absorb right into your bloodstream, help with inflammation, but they do nothing for pain. The THC is a beta blocker, where CBD is not. But now we have technology so we can actually make the THC molecules nanotechnology, which just means really small. So it actually absorbs into your bloodstream just like the CBD.
I love that.
So, so now our pain cream really...
So now it actually works.
It gets in there. So the only thing is, if you do get drug tested, it's absorbing in your bloodstream, so you could get tested positive for taking...
So if you're getting drug tested, maybe stick to the CBD.
Stick to the CBD.
Which, can we talk about how strange that is, that we're still getting drug tested for marijuana even though it's legal?
It's not a federal legal.
Because it's not right.
And so businesses practice in multiple states. So
it's so frustrating. I feel so bad.
It's on its way.
It is.
Because honestly, people are drinking less and less these days. People are smoking more and more. I mean, there is a more even just sober aspect of life that I feel like more people are grasping on too. But that's the thing I wanted to address too. Like you said, like it's all about your relationship with your substances that you're using. Like cannabis, it's like you can use it at the end of your day to wind down, or when you're getting too heated, or like you have pain, but when you're using it like morning, noon, and night, and you're checking out of your life and you're not really showing up as you used to, then you need to reevaluate maybe what you're doing, what your relationship is.
If you're
with
using
it
to numb.
Exactly. There's a difference between, what did we say? It was self-regulation and escapism.
Yes.
Are you regulating or are you escaping? And that really is a fine line that I think we can lose when we start with the self-medicating, and it can become like, well, I just don't want to be in pain, so now I'm escaping the pain, which makes you escape life sometimes. But some people like myself, I can use it and be very functioning.
Yeah.
But if you use too much, then your day's ruined. So it's really all learning what's good for you, in what quantities, at what times, and making sure that it's not taking away from your life, but only adding to.
Because some people really they have really bad effects when they smoke, or even just edibles, anything. So there are people where it's not the best choice.
My funny thing on that is, my notion is like people that have a hard time unwinding, letting go, and like not controlling, can't handle weed.
Yes,
well.
I've noticed that.
I've
it's like
noticed
they
that because
won't
they're
let
like,
themselves.
I have no control of everything, and they start freaking out, and they're like, oh, this is happening. And I was like, it's okay, just let go. And it's those people that can't let go that have those really adverse effects.
They need
to
sleep
get the
with
anxiety.
Crystals.
Yes.
Not these kind of crystals. They need to be sleeping with crystals. They need to be doing affirmations. They need to be writing in a journal and releasing whatever that is, cutting cords.
We talked about shadow work yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about thought court. Like when you you put your thoughts on trial, you're like, does this make sense? Is this feeling or fact?
Right.
And then if it's feeling, just put that away for a second.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. Do I need to stir it, or is it all just...
I was like, it's all good. It's yum. I was like, normally I'd say we could shake it up there. And make sure
it really doesn't have like a ton of flavor.
Well, that's the best part about it.
Yeah, it's very light.
It doesn't mask anything, and it's all from natural fruit juice.
It's very just light.
Oh,
it's very pleasant. Yeah.
That's why I like it, because it's not
I
overpowering.
don't either. Oh.
Yeah, and so it goes great with any other drink.
It almost tastes like a mineral water, if anything, with a light fruitness, like you would a seltzer water.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just that like light fruit. I actually was making like ice cubes with them too, which I was loving. So then I would throw them in.
That's a good idea.
And I am the queen of mixing the flavors because they're not overpowering. So it's 10 milligrams each, so I can handle like 2 to 2.5. Yeah. So I like put them together and make my own flavors, but a mix. I really like that it's very like light.
Yeah, I was
real fruit. Yeah,
it is.
So
this would be so good for women with period cramps, endometriosis, like any sort of problems down there.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like,
I feel like more people need to know about this. This is so good.
Well, it's somewhat new, but it's been out for a little bit. We are rebranding and coming back strong, and fizzies, I'm telling you, it's the way to go. Mm-hmm. Drop a fizzy in.
Yeah, you like
or
your
as I like to say,
yes. I like my Zit Fizz. So
right, and I say splash into a fizzy.
There you go. So the pups and pre-rolls. So, oh my gosh, I had a question.
Should I start at the beginning?
Oh no.
That's part of the authenticity here. We keep rolling, and you see.
No. I at the beginning of the story.
Oh.
I love it. I was like, how I met Adama.
Now I forgot, but yeah, I love pups and pre-rolls.
It's a great way
it'll come back.
I've gone to one of your events before, and it was very fun.
Thank you.
Like set up a booth, and we just passed out a bunch of samples.
Right.
We advertised the shelter.
Right.
Got some donations, and it's just like a fun way to get people involved in the community. I feel like.
Absolutely.
It's like a win-win. You get the pups and the pre-rolls.
The pups get a little something.
Yeah.
Well, and I really kind of made it come to the shelter with my puppy therapy when we kept getting puppies that were in awful situations and were not so trusting of humans. So I was like, stoners are awesome. Let me bring a bunch of stoners over and we'll change the minds of these puppies to think that humans are good. So that's where puppy therapy was born.
And that's gonna be a permanent thing, isn't it?
Yes. Now we're gonna have it every second Saturday of every month at Desert Tail Shelter. $10 donation. You come down, you get Simply Twisted. Yay, they're our sponsor. Simply Twisted will donate pre-rolls. You get a pre-roll and puppy snuggles. What is possibly better than that?
Honestly,
that's Saturday morning.
My dream day.
Right? Puppy therapy from 9:30 to noon. I was
every
like, come on down.
Yes, we went there yesterday.
The second Saturday of every month.
Second Saturday of every month.
Second Saturday, yep. So next Saturday, is it the 9th, I think? I believe it's the 9th. Come on down to Desert Tales on July 9th for puppy therapy.
Okay. Oh my gosh. And once it starts cooling down too, I want to have you can bring a picnic, I guess maybe not around the dogs.
I was like, something to share.
But yeah, I love that idea because stoners get such a bad rap and stigma, but really they're some of the most gentle, kindest, most just chill people. Like
most of them are dog lovers.
Yes.
And that's what we were talking about, like in the neurodivergent aspect. You know, we got a lot of autistic and ADHD people that we're all animal lovers. We either are cats or dogs. Like I have two.
Yes, there's a very big correlation between that.
And so it's like a lot of our passions are in animals because it's through emotional regulation, as well as the cannabis is emotional regulation. And so they just go hand in hand, I feel. And that's what we should do. Maybe we should throw like a little event. When you do the pups and pre-rolls, we like advertise.
Yeah. I was like, come hang out. Have therapy.
When did you start consuming cannabis?
So I would say, I mean, at the end of college, I tried it, but it wasn't really my thing.
So you were a little late bloomer.
Yeah, it was like when I was like 28, 29. Yeah, I was like 29, and then it's because I felt I was drinking too much, and so I did it instead of drinking. And so I was able to quit drinking and relearn my relationship with alcohol. You know, and then I just substituted it for the weed, and which made me much more functioning. You know, I didn't have to waste that day that I was drinking and the next day, and it just got depressive. And it really gave me more insight into my life and where I needed to grow and what I needed to fix. It really helped me be more introspective when I was very extroverted and thinking everything is happening to me. It really made me look at myself, and I got addicted to that. I got addicted to that clarity and that understanding. But now it's like I've reached a point in my life where I've had to relearn my relationship with that because what I used to use it for was to calm myself down because I thought it was too much. And now I'm like, well, now I'm not enough. You know, I need to stop this because I need to be more. I needed to be who I was because now I've learned how to be while I was under this. You know, I felt like it is a teacher, and it taught me how to be calm and to listen instead of talk, you know, and to wait and be patient and all this cool stuff that I didn't hear or even pay attention to because I was too busy talking. So it really helped me from a neurodivergent aspect too, because before I was also on Vyvanse my whole life and Adderall growing up, and then I would, even in my 20s, you know, and then that's why I would drink to calm down at the end of the day and to let loose and stop thinking so much because my brain was always thinking and noticing everything. And then I noticed if I just hit a weed and I'm like, oh, this is manageable and I can still function, but I'm not over anxious. I'm not like, okay, what do I need to do next? It's just like the volume gets turned down. Yes, it's like makes the intensity turn down.
Yes.
Have you guys dabbled in psilocybin?
Yes.
Do you think that's
helpful? I'm a huge advocate for that.
Yes, me too, because it helps a lot with that third party of seeing yourself, like taking a step outside of your ego and being able to notice. I used to use it. What made me start it was like I would have a problem that I couldn't think through. I would take it and go float in a pool, and then all of a sudden I would have all these different perspectives that helped me shine light on it.
I call that hydrotherapy.
That's so funny because I used to do the same thing where I would always ask myself or ask the universe a question. I would have like something in my life that I wanted answered. Every single time I would find the answers.
Yes.
And I truly believe we all have the answers inside of us if you sit with yourself long enough. Maybe take some psilocybin and
I write myself
you will find it.
Notes. Like if I have questions, I put them in a pillowcase. And you sleep on it.
I will write notes and then
osmosis.
Think about it while I'm under the influence, and then write more notes, and then when I'm sober again,
go back.
It's very interesting. I learned so much from that.
Well, psilocybin forces your brain to create new neural pathways. So the old, pathways and patterns that aren't serving you. But also this retrograde is about shedding. And getting rid of things that
ass.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
We've been talking about this
on
July. Like if I could get my money back, that would be great. July sucked. I know I had to say bye to Maisie. Maisie's in here. I know. Talk about freaking mental health. Had her for almost 14 years.
That's so
it's
good.
Never easy losing that. And they say it's like losing a child, like the emotional response.
Yes,
is measured the same as like losing a child. And I agree with that. Like I've even had to work my way up to when he is gonna be like, make the most of today because tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
So that I'm not so in shock when it happens. It's kind of like you pretend it happens, and then you're more
like,
grateful. You're like, okay, let me.
It's like a soft.
You let me get more cheese on your food for you.
I was gonna say yes. Like my friends, it's crazy. One of my best friend lost her dog within a week of my dog, but he had cancer, so it was kind of like we knew, and we had a goodbye, and it was. I know awful both ways, but I feel like it was kind of nice that she knew it was coming.
I knew my dogs was coming.
I
and
did
I was
not. We thought she just had blood stones or something, and I was like, wait, I'm not taking her back home. Wait, what? And they said I couldn't even leave with her, and and I think coming home, and the first thing I did was sit on the floor with my 4 that I have. And I was like, this is mental health. It blows my mind, people that don't have dogs or have them and put them outside. Someone texted me and was like, does your dog have shade? And I said, my dogs sleep on my bed.
My dog has a king bed, okay?
My house.
I sleep around them.
Right.
They push me out of the bed. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
I got the couch. It's fine. When I get my permanent house, when I get to get my new big bedroom, I'm going to put a twin bed at the bottom of my king size bed. I love that. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's so cute for your dogs." No, for me, friends. So I will have space to spread out. Right? I will have an area to stretch my legs.
They make a king bed that's extra long.
They do. Yes.
That's what I want for dogs to sleep on.
Right?
That'd be so cool.
But I was like, no, you have house hippos and they sleep wherever the heck they feel like it. I mean.
But I wouldn't want it any other way because they literally make the house come alive.
They just they take your emotions. They know.
Yes,
they're just amazing. So amazing.
They really are.
I see a lot of neurodivergents have big connections with animals, and I think it's because sometimes we aren't the best at communicating in societal terms, but with animals, you don't have to, there's no weird games being played, there's none of this, there's not even any words. No. It's all emotion, it's all an energetic exchange.
Well, they feel like you can't
so
bullshit them. They know the real you. Yes. They're like, really? Who are we today? Mm-hmm.
Like if I come
and they're
home,
so judgy.
Yeah, if you come home and you're drunk, they know.
But they got nowhere to go.
No, get away from me.
Right?
I'm gonna go lay in here.
I was gonna say that's why on my logo, so there's a perfect leeway in on my logo of Pups and Pre-Rolls. I was gonna say it's on my back.
What's it say? Oh,
Maisie,
Pups and Pre-Rolls. Oh, it's your puppies.
Maisie has it behind her ear.
Oh,
I see.
Because she is super judgy. Everyone else is smoking it because they enjoy it.
That is so funny.
So she was judgy. So I was like, well, you still have it because you're in the group, but you just get it behind your ear.
That's cute, though. Oh, that's really adorable. I love
No,
that.
I was like,
so
be judgy.
special.
It's fine. Yes. But I feel like it's definitely been a huge thing, and I've seen a lot of people that have gained so much from puppy therapy and
that's why I started volunteering at the shelter.
Yeah.
And because I was at a really dark place in my life, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like work when I'm there, even though I'm cleaning up dog poop, literally wrangling animals. But it's just so healing. And I see the other volunteers too, and you just see everyone when they're there. You can just tell that we're all healing in our own little way.
Well, see,
and it's so cute to see.
It is, and that's what I want to step on. It's we are taught to self-serve, but really we feel our best when we serve others.
Yes.
anything you do for someone else is never, like, it feels way better than any paycheck or dollar you can make. I don't know, maybe it's just certain people.
No,
but I feel like when you make life outside of yourself, you're like, you're part of a bigger picture. It's not all about you. And it really helps humble you and ground you and say, you know what, my life's not that bad, you know?
Well, that's how I was raised. It's called Tikkun Olam. And it's like to help the earth, to heal the earth.
Oh, I love that.
And as I was raised Jewish, and so as a Jew, you're supposed to do 613 mitzvot a day. Mitzvot is good deeds. 613 every day. I don't. But I try.
That means just as much as possible.
Right.
I don't think I do 613 things in a day.
Anything, right? But I feel like that was like, and it was funny, I was just talking to a friend yesterday about, like, that's how I was raised. And tzedakah is like you bring money and you donate charity and money. And so pups and pre-rolls, to give back and to, like, help the community, it's always been something I do. Like yesterday I was with a friend, Bryce actually, and we stopped and I gave a homeless backpack out the window. And he was like, because I make homeless backpacks and I always have them with me of dog food and shoes for the dogs, because I have mixed feelings. I know the homeless dogs are loved, but I feel bad in Arizona. We have 116 degree temperature. I mean, they didn't ask to, like, be outside under an overpass on a freeway in the boiling heat. So if my little bit, I can at least give them shoes and dog food, and I keep it in, like, a plastic container so it's not going to get ants, and a couple snacks for them. I mean, it's just something I can do. But it's crazy because I feel like so many people judge the homeless as all mental health. It's all druggies and mental health. And it's like, talk to them.
Well, now they passed this executive order.
Oh, that is horrifying.
They can just start swooping them off the street. But yet the money allocating for the services is being cut.
Right.
So, like, what is this going to be? Private institutions?
Well, all of they want to privatize everything.
There's so much money.
So now it's just another jail.
Social Security? Mm-hmm. Yes, because if no one's making money off of it, what good is it?
Right.
And can't help each other. No,
right.
See, well, and I feel like it's funny. I always think about, like, Jerry Springer, where he says at the end, "Be kind to yourself and be kind to others," or something like that.
Oh yes,
yes. And I feel like that's like how I was raised, but it's weird. People are not raised like that anymore. But I feel like I was telling you about barista phobia, when you can't even talk to your own barista. I was like, how are you supposed to, like, are you okay? Check in. I mean, which is back to mental health. Are we checking on our friends? Are we checking on our loved ones? I mean,
are we checking in on ourselves too?
I mean, it's a crazy ass world right now. Like, I literally wake up and try to take a few minutes and be like, there's so much.
We're getting so bombarded. We open our phones and it's a million things that we have to worry about, a million things going on in the world, and it is so harmful for everyone's mental health. Like, every single person at this point has some sort of mental health issue that they're dealing with.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you're labeled and judged and put in a category.
Punished.
And you're right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's just crazy. So I feel like, at least if edibles can help you. And
that's why a lot of people choose to self-medicate, whether they can't afford to go to a therapist or get medication, or whether they just don't have access to it. Who knows? There's so many reasons for it. So I am glad there are ways that we can self-medicate that a lot of people do find a lot of benefits in.
Well, I mean, and even therapy had like such like taboo a couple years ago. I mean, mental health wasn't even something they talked about when I was a kid.
No.
When I was competitive in gymnastics, no one cared about our mental health.
No.
I mean, for sure not. I mean, like, come on. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, gymnastics, like, in the 80s, like, all of that, like, I mean, it just blows my mind. Because they just go. I mean, so many of, like, the athletes and all sorts of stuff. It's crazy, like, the mind frame, and you're just supposed to, like, go into what your body gives out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy. And then even that causes mental health. Because, I mean, with my arm,
pain causes a lot of mental health.
And I can't do so many things with my arm.
And the struggle that you're like, I'm going to go pro in this, or I'm going to go to the Olympics in this, and then you don't. And it's like, well, here, my whole life far is off course.
Mm-hmm. Right? And you're 12.
Yeah. Like, no 12-year-old.
Or, like, even in, like, high school sports and college sports where they hurt themselves. And then you're like, well, now what are you going to do?
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
that
a big
was your
mental
whole
health
career.
pivot, And it's like, that's what we talk about, like, these breakthroughs that we come through, because I feel like life does throw wrenches in. We get wrenches thrown into our paths to test us and see if this is our path and this is where we want to keep on, you know.
Well, that's why I do applaud a lot of the sports that have been opening stuff up more. Like marijuana is not super taboo with basketball. I don't know if that's kind of a hot
NFL it's always been though, hasn't it? Is it not
basketball,
as much anymore?
I feel like with basketball.
NFL.
Oh,
NFL. So I feel like NFL is the one you always heard like, oh, this guy's
right. It's like
I feel like they're still a little crazy. Like they're the most strict. I feel like the NBA and the WNBA, I don't think they give a shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't think for Major League Baseball, I don't think they're really testing for marijuana
it's not
anymore.
affecting your playing and your contract ability.
Because they're allowed to drink alcohol.
Of course they are.
Why can't they?
That was the one thing I never understood either. Like, you could show up to work drunk, but don't you dare smoke weed 2 days ago.
Right? Seriously. I mean, and it's
on your Saturday off.
Right? I mean, but it in all different, like, aspects, like, you know, different jobs.
Yes.
I feel like it's crazy. The medical professionals, they're like, well, marijuana, know this, but alcohol's fine. Oh, really?
Well, it's because they cannot do anything. They're all these professionals are like, I can't. I get tested.
Right.
But they go to happy hour every day.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I mean, you can come into a surgery smelling like alcohol.
I know, and it's so much more detrimental.
Yeah.
For your health, for mental health.
Well, and they see it. They see the detriments of alcohol firsthand. But I feel like the medical professionals are some of the most mentally unhealthy humans on this earth. I mean, they absorb all that crap from everyone else, and they don't do anything for themselves. I mean, a lot of them smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol,
a not great diet,
other drugs. I mean, seriously, talk about self-medicating, and they're the ones prescribing. It's pretty crazy.
I know.
So.
As long as you abuse what's legal.
Right? And I'm like,
right, then you're fine.
Blows my mind.
But that leads me into, what do you think the biggest myth out there is on weed? Or cannabis, THC, in general?
I think that you're a loser if you smoke it. I don't think that, but I'm saying that myth, that you're just like a
stoner.
Yes, like the derogatory
you're
view
not
that
being an
people
effective
have.
member of society.
Yeah. You're lazy,
I always think of that song, because I got high. And I'm like, you should see what I do when I get high. I create earrings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I make hair clips.
For certain people, it helps regulate your thinking if you're
nice.
like even a little more hyperactive. And then it also, I think, especially neurodivergence, it helps us get into that flow. You know, a lot of us like to have that 2 shots or something. You're like, oh, I can socialize. I can do this. And that's what marijuana did for me. It's like, I can take a puff and I'm like, I let my guard down. I'm witty. I'm funny. Like, I can talk to anybody. I don't give a shit. And that's where it starts, you know. And it's like, you know, that's where we have to find our fine lines and things, and moderation, and know our relationships, and understand when those relationships are turning on us, you know. And it's okay. If things get away from us all the time, we're not perfect beings, and it's all about learning and finding what works for you.
That's why I started smoking. I think the first time I started smoking, I was like 14, and I remember my head had always been so loud before that. And then my friend was like, here, just try this. And I was raised Mormon, so we weren't allowed to drink, smoke, not even coffee, tea, nothing. But I was like, okay. And I remember for the first time in my life, my brain was quiet. I was just naturally, like my mood was elevated. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what, like the devil's lettuce? This is what it is.
And you're no longer dopamine seeking. You're just content. I'm like, I can relax.
And then it kind of did get out of control, because then I was smoking before school, during school, after school. And I don't think you should start that young. But let your brain develop a little bit. What do you recommend?
They do say at least 25 is when your brain starts developing, because during those formative years it can be really detrimental. But if you use it afterwards, I guess there's no brain effect long term. But it can be, besides like how you consume it.
Right.
What about you? What do you think is the biggest?
Well, and I also think we have cleaner weed now. I mean, we grow it. Back in the day, we used to get bricked weed, and it smelled like ammonia because it probably came straight from places like Mexico, and they would put ammonia on it because then it wouldn't smell like weed, and then they wouldn't get caught. Well, guess what? You're smoking that ammonia. I'm sure that's great for your body out of a tin can. Woohoo! Yay.
See, that's the big complaint I feel for people that did smoke in the 80s and 90s that are smoking today. You know, all those 40-year-olds. Gen Xers are the key. I'm like, they're complaining that it's too strong.
Yes, I hear that.
And I was like, what were you guys smoking? Like, it must have been dirt weed, like you said.
Well, I used to get that all the time when I was a bud tender. They were like, I just want old man weed. And I'm like, okay, well, welcome to 2023. We don't have that anymore. So here we are. And it cracked me up because I'm like, if you would just for 2 seconds, I would get you something really good. She's spinning me. Get you something really good, and then you could be on your way, and you would be happy. But you don't want to listen, and guess what? Sorry, things have changed. That's why I wish that a lot of bud tenders, and there are a lot of great bud tenders out there, but there are some bud tenders because there are different incentive systems, which I think is ridiculous. I understand it's because bud tenders don't make a ton of money, so they get extra money from the companies. But then again, like pharmaceutical sales, they're pushing that stuff. Is that really how you believe? Is that really the best product for that customer? And so I feel like things like that kind of, that's what happened when it went rec. When it was medicinal, I loved the cannabis industry.
There was more care.
Well, I feel like you had the opportunity to educate people. Now it's more get them in, out, and get them high.
That's true.
But that's why I push my education, because I feel like there's so many things that people don't know, like our mushroom chocolate. People are like, I don't want to get high. I'm like, actually, this is non-functional mushroom chocolate. It has non-psilocybin in it, but lion's mane.
Functional.
Yeah, functional.
Functional non-psilocybin.
Yes.
So they won't get you high, but they'll make you focus.
Yes, it is.
You're not going to hallucinate.
Basically, brain health is what it is. Lion's mane is amazing.
Great for brain health.
For actually remembering, focusing, clarity. I remember stuff when I eat these. It's the most amazing thing in the world. I went up the stairs one time the other day for laundry. I was like, when? Like, what? When? Didn't have to ask the dogs, you know? Like,
no, they say that's so good for preventing dementia, Alzheimer's, all that stuff.
Well, the new study came out with psilocybin that in rats it's extending their life up to 60%.
Oh my gosh.
They don't know if it'll work with humans, but that's what they start, you know? And so it's like the neurodegenerative pathways that it's creating, you know, can also be maybe beneficial in your body.
Well, other countries, like India, loves mushrooms. Yes. I feel like they use reishi, cordyceps. I mean, mushrooms is a functional part of what they eat.
Yes, it's like their vitamins.
It's like we have the brown mushroom, and that's really it. Like, there's not a lot of kinds of mushrooms for you to purchase. And a lot of people they don't understand that.
I love learning about fungi, mushrooms, because there are now we actually are having more research and more funds going towards that research. And there is so much that mushrooms can do.
Where's that music coming from?
I thought it was the mushroom.
We're like, wait, are we hallucinating?
I'm like, it sounded like an alarm came on.
The screensaver on the TV turned on.
She's like, those actually did have psilocybin in them.
I was like,
well, and I kept looking at it.
Are we in a Disney movie all of a sudden?
Right? Oh, I love that. Aurora takes shrooms.
But I love
the real Princess Aurora.
But we need to have someone come on and talk about, or maybe you, if you're knowledgeable about mushrooms too. Yes. I'm sure you are, because that's a topic I would talk all day about. That.
Mike wants to come on and talk about the functional mushrooms.
Yeah, that'd be great too.
Adaptogens.
Because that's a big thing too that we use for self-regulating, self-medicating.
Yes.
You know,
he's so smart too. Make him come on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or maybe we can do a podcast at the facility.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Saying,
That'd be
you guys won't be able to smell the chocolate, but you'll be able to see from our faces that it smells delicious.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We make all of our chocolate from scratch in Tempe. Every ingredient you can see on there. It's just amazing. So cute.
Well, I love that. We should definitely set that up because that's very informative too.
Mm-hmm. Seriously. And I have a friend that would probably come on that grows mushrooms.
Oh, that I am so interested in. I have books about that stuff. I love watching videos because they're so there's so many things for the environment that it can do
for your health.
Yes,
right?
There's so many, like, fungi is,
because he's
like, I think it's like a form
right?
of God. Right? I think, it's like.
It's very cool. I would say that, and it's all new territory, but it's so promising, and and it's been only helpful.
Yeah. I mean, well, and that's weird to me too that like certain states psilocybin's legal. You know, I mean, I know it's slow.
It's on its way, like marijuana was.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly, it was supposed to be on our ballot here. I don't think it was because 2025 is. Feel like really zooming by.
We can't have nothing.
I know. Well, but that was like for a few years when they, or not a year, but when they had the freak out in Coconino County and Yavapai County about cartridges, you couldn't have distillate.
That's right.
Yeah, that was bad. But I was like, I'm sorry. Let's rewind a little bit. For vodka, do you know if they're red potatoes or white potatoes? Because red potatoes you can't make vodka from. No one differentiates the potatoes. It's just vodka. So how are you going to say the distillate from the cannabis is not okay, but I can smoke the cannabis and I can eat the cannabis?
Interesting.
Right? So it was obviously overturned and now carts are legal. I personally don't use carts. For me, it makes my lungs hurt, and I feel like if your body's telling you something, please listen.
I agree with that, because that's what they do to me. That's why if I do it, it's the live resin.
Yeah. I mean, and people find all that works, and I'm like, if carts work for you and they make you feel better.
Because I hate how handy it is. It's so handy.
For me, it just feels like, my lungs are like, ouch. Mm-hmm. So they're obviously telling me something. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, we don't listen to our bodies just in general. I mean, I work with American Cancer, and I'm like, how is it the volunteers that we've seen all the bad stuff, they ignore like the mark on their arm? And you're like, really?
I think it's because we want to think we're so invulnerable that like we can't be hurt, and we think because we've accomplished so much, and it's so like, oh, that's not going to happen to me, and you let your ego kill you. The ego is the death of most people. Like if you allow it, it will kill you.
See, and I didn't even think about it that. To me, I think they've already thought it's the worst of the worst, so they just don't want to know.
Oh, well, it could be either or.
Yeah,
could be either.
So I feel like living in denial is like kind of a happy, fun place until you can't live there anymore.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
until
men,
you get evicted, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like a lot of men do that. Like they'll be like, well, if I don't know, I don't know.
Right, right? It doesn't feel right? It doesn't look right, but fine. It's fine.
I've heard guys talking about, like older guys just talk about, I broke my ankle in 3 places. I just walked around till it healed. I mean, it's a little crooked now, but I'm just like, what?
Right? We have medicine. Okay.
You don't have to do this.
We don't have to do this.
Right? It's like
we have technology.
Right?
We are not cavemen.
Exactly. Right? It's so funny how people, but that is like,
it's an ego thing.
What we saw,
that's an ego thing.
That's like the main theme of this whole podcast is like we hold ourselves back, we mask ourselves, we control our reality, and really you're the one that does yourself in at the end.
I mean, think about it. When fire was created, were they like, oh no,
I'm sure there was some people,
right?
I'm sure there was some people, oh no, fire bad.
Right.
I mean, fire burned down like every civilization. I'm surprised they just kept bringing fire in. Like, didn't they figure something out soon? Like, I mean, every major city is burned down from fire.
Contain the fire. There we go.
Have you ever seen it's like one lantern burns down a whole city? I was like, dang, those. You think they would have made less flammable cities or something?
So that's why we're
maybe those people were right to say fire's bad.
So I was like, but now we can contain it.
I know. I'm like a pyro though, so I'm like fire.
Right? I know. I do actually. I feel like when you are trying to let go and release things, though, writing stuff on a note and burning it, having a ceremony where you release it, and you actually see the ashes like go.
I had a therapist that did that with me, and it was so healing.
The other thing I found, getting blank plates or even like cool design plates from like thrift stores, writing on them stuff that you want to get rid of and smashing it is awesome.
My gosh,
too.
that would be
do
so
it in
healing.
an enclosed area so you're not hurting anybody. Wear goggles if you're.
I do recommend not eating off those plates because there's this guy that goes through and does like lead testing at Home Goods and stuff, and they're like edible plates that have lead on them.
Oh, sure.
So I recommend breaking those plates, not eating them.
Right. But you write on it with Sharpie, it's so, oh my gosh, it's
that
invigorating to just smash it.
I'm going to try that.
When I went through like a really like big change and I felt like I literally was like metamorphosizing, I did a lot of plate breaking and it was
I like that idea though.
And I got this big high box and
Yeah.
But it was awesome. And then, but that was before they had smash rooms. Now they have smash rooms.
Right.
So, which is pretty great.
But this is still cheaper.
Right. Yeah, go to Goodwill's cheaper.
I was like, right?
Just take those plates and go to the dumpster.
Straight from Goodwill, straight to the dumpster.
Right,
They're like,
right.
Okay.
Right.
She paid for it.
Right. You're like, okay. Then you find out they're worth money, I'm sure.
Right. It happens to be the one gold and
You never
silver.
know, right?
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any
words of wisdom?
Yes. What are your words of wisdom?
I really think you need to listen to your inner self and your heart. I try to take the first couple minutes every day when I wake up. I drink a lot of water. I sleep with crystals everywhere. My dogs are obsessed with crystals. And I just kind of try to be in like the first couple minutes before I like jump out of bed and like set my intentions. I think intentions are amazing. And I think if someone told me when I was a competitive gymnast, when I was like 8 and 9 and dancing and competing in both of those, that I needed intentions, I'd be like, what? Mm-hmm. But it would help so much. So when I used to coach, I used to get them when we used to have those pillows that you could do the sequins different ways. I got them a little keychain, and that was their reset button. If you couldn't do a skill or a trick, you needed to go walk over, change your intentions, and reset your button. Because something about the physicality of changing that. Yes, and
taking
that's why
yourself
I think,
out of the head.
Yes, and just actually physically touching something, that tangible reset. And so I think resets are awesome, and I think a lot of people see them. I think there's a lot of judgment, so weakness and stuff like that plays in. But I think really being brave and strong is resetting and knowing your intentions and your limits and knowing what you're capable of and just being happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be happy.
Yeah. Strength comes from vulnerability, and you have to see yourself, accept yourself, give yourself grace, and that's what creates the happiness. Is that you say, like, I am human, I make mistakes, but then I learn and I do better. And then it's like learning happiness is learning to find like the happy things in the bad times, you know. Look for the positives and the silver lining and things.
Yeah, I love people. My favorite type of people are the people that find beauty in pain or beauty in darkness. Those are the best type of people to me.
But you have to go through all that to find that, to be able to see it. Those people have gone through it. Because I've learned now firsthand, once you go through those things, your eyes just open up to it. And it's like, oh, I never even thought of these things, and now this is what I think about when I see these situations. It's very interesting.
My best friend on the way here was giving me words of wisdom, and she said, for going through as much pain and loss as you have, my grandma's passed away. That was my favorite person. My mom's passed away. My dad's passed away. My brother's passed away. I mean, I have more people on the other side. It's literally my sister and I joke that we're like an island. I have my stepdad, which I'm grateful for, but it's literally the two of us. We're like an island. And she was like, I can't believe you're still like so happy and like you give out so much to other people. And I said, because I think if people realize that, like we were saying before, giving and community service and being part of something bigger than yourself really does help you get out of your own way and bring happiness.
Yeah. Happiness is a choice.
So 1,000%.
You have to choose happiness.
That's what my mother would say. Elaine Sarah Nelson. Being happy is a good choice, is what she would say. And bring your jacket. I was like, do you live in Arizona where I live? Like, it's 121 outside. But yes, I've got my sweater. I just would bring it in the car because it was easier than arguing. I was like, no one needs a freaking sweater, but okay. So I made everyone bring their sweaters to her funeral. Right? It was also the last time we waited for her. I loved her, but her clock was not set on the same time as mine. Always a minute late, but she was one of my amazing disciples when I got into marijuana. We used to fight about that all the time because she was a hippie. And I was like, what kind of a hippie were you that you weren't stoned? Are you joking?
Right.
What? You were at Woodstock? What? There was no sober people at Woodstock. She said, your father was an athlete. I'm like, okay.
And you know what? So I wonder if in those times they did use, they deny admittance.
I wonder.
And they're like, I did not.
No, but because in the 70s, though, they got tested for everything. Because steroid was a huge thing. So they didn't specify. I'm sure it was just all lumped together. And they really did get tested. He was on a spring training team for the Red Sox.
It
was professional. Yes,
Gotcha.
I mean, and also this was like Vietnam, so you either used or you didn't use.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I look at pictures of my mom who had like gorgeous dark brown hair, hazel eyes, like olive skin. I'm like, blue eyeshadow, not really where I would have had, but okay. Okay. And I'm like, and you sure you weren't smoking weed? But okay, you say so. She says it gave her a headache, and I responded with smoke more, and I got yelled at. But, you know, those are facts. You do. I mean, sometimes you get that little buzz, and you can't really differentiate. Like, it's like, But, like, last night I had a horrible headache, and I put CBD cream on my head. Smoked and had a fizzy and was like, okay.
I get migraines. I should try that.
Well, because sometimes the smoking makes your blood vessels still enlarged. So you want the CBD because it takes the inflammation away. So therefore, I keep the CBD cream in the fridge.
Okay. Oh, so then it's nice and cool, yeah.
Yes, because I don't know if a neurologist ever told you, but when you have migraines, you should think of like really cold.
Yes,
like
ice packs.
Yes, because it constricts your blood vessels, and that's what's causing the migraine in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to get horrible migraines so bad that I would give myself shots, and that was actually what encouraged me in college to smoke so much, because we didn't have edibles and other options. It was weed out of a tin can or, weed out of a tin can. Then I was the bong girl, and everyone teased me about, I would climb the mountain with a giant 2-foot bong. I guess my mom can't yell at me now. Hi, Mom! But yeah, everyone's like, why do you need a backpack? I was like, because. My best friend growing up in high school, we were in a bowling team. Yeah. We had competitive bowling 3 times a week. No, we did not. Thank God they never opened our bowling bags, because there was a bong in there and weed in there. And I was like, you never noticed that my bowling bag was like super light, but okay. So, yay.
You're like, that's one of the pins, Mom.
Right? I was like, I literally had a bowling bag. And,
my gosh, that's hilarious.
But that's how we got to see each other 3 times a week and go get high and smoke. But like, I mean, it helped with my migraines because the smoking constricts your blood vessels. So, and crazy, right? Because the neurologist didn't say, if you just smoked a J.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting how like things that are notoriously bad for us can be inherently good.
But now how far medicine has come. I mean, my surgeon now eats edibles, and he's one of the top surgeons in Arizona.
Good for him. Yeah, because
right?
It's so frustrating when doctors are so anti THC and CBD, and it's like, why? Like, you guys know, like, there's enough evidence to back it up.
No, especially
for like children that have like cerebral palsy, or like the kids that get seizures. It's like wonderful. It's a wonder drug.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like literally gets rid of their seizures, and it's like these children.
This is just CBD chocolate, and I know this has helped so many children. I know I'm not supposed to promote that. Mike doesn't promote that, but I do.
But parents have that option
they have
for
that
their
choice.
children.
Yes.
I mean,
you're promoting the parents.
For my friend who has a daughter who's ADHD, she is, I believe, 13 now. But she started really having effects when she was about 9. Well, at 9, she couldn't really explain to her mom what she was going through. And they knew she was on the spectrum, but they didn't know really what. And she finally said to me, I can't shut my brain off when I go to sleep, and it hurts. It hurts my head. Like, I just want to take my head off. Sleepies, she goes nuts. We didn't have the gummies until just recently, but she used to beg for her chocolate at night.
That's awesome.
She would eat a sleepy chocolate, and my best friend is like, do you know this is like the only time my daughter gets good sleep?
And that's way better than putting them on hard medications.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't herself on the medicine, and she didn't like how she felt on the medicine. But the sleepy chocolate, she'd be like, I want my chocolate. And she has dessert and would sleep.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Right? I mean, and it has no THC.
Right.
So it's not getting her high. It just has the CBN and the CBD.
See, I love that you can use a more natural remedy instead of more and more pills. Because honestly, a lot of people, they get on like 20, 30 pills by the time they're a senior citizen. And it's like, I've seen people come off of it and just start a good lifestyle program that do smoke weed and stuff, and they're like, I don't need all these pills. I take 1 pill now.
Well, and their poor kidneys. I mean, they've been filtering that for how many years?
Well, that's how our Western medicine works. It's like, oh, well, here's a Band-Aid for that, and here's a Band-Aid for that, and that Band-Aid caused this problem, so we got a Band-Aid to cover this.
Well, and I feel like if we were just proactive.
Yes.
Proactive or
but
preventative.
That's not
preventative.
I know. Preventative.
But that's why we're doing this. We're trying to make our world a better place, people more informed, a safe space for all, so that we can ask for help. We can educate ourselves.
Show other
not feel
options.
shame for stepping outside the box.
Love that. And if anybody has other questions or things they'd like to see cannabis related, let me know.
Yes.
I'd love to come back.
Where can they find you?
I have my Instagram is Pups and Pre-Rolls. And if you want to buy any of our products, we are hippiechicks.com. Rachel, RACHEL 20 gets you 20% off every time. We have dog CBD, we have gummies, we have chocolates. We have the Rachel chocolate. I'm 100 milligrams because I come in hot or not at all.
I love it.
So, right? I was like, I wish you guys could see under the table. I have puppy love.
I know the
we
pups
do
are
have.
awesome.
There's pups below, pre-rolls above.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, and all sorts of goodies. I was like, come see us. We've got glasses. We've got everything fun, cannabis related, and snuggle a puppy.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Did you want to do the questions? The rapid fire questions?
Some rapid fire questions we have, Obi. So, what's your favorite strain right now?
Ooh, Doctor Who.
Ooh.
That's such a cute name.
Is that an indica? Obviously.
Full indica. It's purple. A very close cousin is Pablo Escobar, which is like a more black colored bud. But anything that's purple, I found gets rid of my arm pain.
Interesting.
Yes, because it's nerve.
All right.
It's more like neurological.
Good to know. What is the most hilarious moment you've had while high?
Okay, I have several. But I will tell of one when at the very first time I got high. We were probably, I could drive. So 16 around there. And we were at my friend's ridiculous house in North Scottsdale. And she picked up this giant roll of aluminum foil because, of course, we were making a pipe out of aluminum foil. Love that. She picked the aluminum foil up. It knocked this giant porcelain teapot off that, looking back at it now, is probably like Tiffany teapot. Probably thousands of dollars. It shattered everywhere. And it was the first time we'd actually gotten high. So feeling high, not smoking, because it takes a couple times to build up in your body. Mm-hmm. So everything was hilarious. So we were like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Mm-hmm. We could not stop laughing. So we took ourselves in the pantry at her house, shut the door because no one was going to see us because we were high. Mm-hmm. And the broken pot is everywhere. So we're dying laughing, and then it dawns on me, oh my God, we have to clean it up, and everyone's going to hear us. So that was one of my hilarious times. Another funny time is my Chiweenie likes to get high. He takes actual bong hits. I was like, if you ever do a podcast, you can videotape him. He loves it. I tell him in our next life, he's paying for all the weed, and I'm getting high for free. So I think it's only fair.
That is so funny.
Kingsley loves it. And I open the jars and he'll smell and he'll go like this by the one he wants you to pack based off the smells and the terps, which leads me to another thing a lot of people don't know about terpenes. Terpenes are in flower. Mm-hmm. And that's why, I loved it when you could smell. Because when you would smell weed that works for your body like salivates.
Lights up. Yes. Mine's the same with, so sativas are mine. Like the citrusy, grapefruity, lemongrass. Those things, like the pinene, that lights me up. I'm just like, it's so stimulating.
Right.
Because I like sativas because they make me functional. They don't weigh me down. Because otherwise, indicas weigh my body down.
Because everybody's endocannabinoid is different. That's why I wish when you go into a dispensary, that's why I was training people to teach them indica, body, sativa, mind. Don't teach it in the couch, because guess what? Old people, it doesn't work like that for them. They have body pain like I do at such a level. And I think if I wasn't a competitive gymnast dancer, I probably wouldn't be in such body pain at my age. But because I've been in for so long, I've learned that indicas is what helps me, and sativas is for mind. So sativas put me to sleep because they don't help with my aches.
Interesting.
And my body's like, good night. But for old people, their pain tolerance is so high, and they need the indica, but it also doesn't put them to sleep because it's for pain.
Because I will notice if I get an indica dominant one, and then my body just starts buzzing. I'm like, it feels like you're in a hot tub. And I'm like, oh, this feels so nice, but I'm not doing it much.
Right.
But with a sativa, I can hit it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But it also helps round me down. It's like my ADHD is everywhere, and I have so many ideas, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, we're doing this, we're doing this.
Which is great, because some sativas are not good for ADHD.
Oh.
Yeah, certain ones. They have, I'm curious if it's a terp or if it's just the whole terpene profile, but I know for some of them it actually makes their ADHD worse. So it makes them more paranoid and their brain.
Anxious.
Yes.
I could see that. I can see that. And I think that again.
And they get like the sweaty paws. I'm part dog. My truth just came out. But and they get that anxious and then they don't want it and it's like too much. But I've noticed those ones need the indica because I tell every stoner, if you're a freaking veteran stoner, if you're a new stoner, you should have a pot notebook and you write down strains that you like.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
such a
also
good
write
idea.
down strains that are bad for you. The ones that are in the middle, you don't need to waste your time with those. But stuff that's on the end that you don't ever want to buy again,
I need to do that.
keep track of it. Stuff that you love, then you know. And then it can be a
just
tiny
a little
notebook.
one, yeah.
But that way I recommend you bringing it in when you go because, by the way, at every dispensary, there has to be a QR code on every product that tells you where it's made, what's in it, where it came from, the whole chain of command. Mm-hmm. So you can find out when there's stuff like, for me, limonene, nope. Mm-hmm. No. But you know what is weird? I don't care for lemons. Mm-hmm. Love grapefruit, but that's also a different terp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. Like the smell of lemons, I'm like, nope. And when I'm packaging for Simply Twisted, if we're doing a sativa, it's funny, I'll look, they're like, oh, there she goes. And I get like tired because the terpenes from the sativas, my body's like, nope.
But see, that brings us back to everybody's unique and you have to figure out what works for you. Even if you are medicated neurodivergent, you find what pills and what strategy works best for you. Just like you have to try different strains to figure out what works best with you if that's the option you like to go.
But that's why, stoners, we forget things. That's why I'm like, put it in your notebook.
Smart.
Put it down.
That's so smart, yeah.
There's certain edibles that I think work better for me than other edibles.
Mm-hmm. And dispensaries do track what you bought. So if you go to the same place, at least they can tell you last time you bought this. So that is nice if you forget.
Yes, I was going to say for the most part, yes. They do have that. The problem I run into is I feel like there's new brands coming all the time, and so brands being replaced. So also if you just like remember like the name but not the brand, sometimes it's hard to find because then they might be gone.
So do you think strains do stay specific through brands, or do you think they have a tendency to change?
No, I do not. I think it depends on A, how they grow it, B, if it's been cross-contaminated, because there are no real sativas anymore unless they're land-raised sativas. I could definitely make my friend Mitch come on here. He's a grower, so he would blow your brains about all the different stuff. Even stuff grown in different soil has metals in it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have metals in it. You have to know like what's with it. How are they getting rid of pests? Are the pesticides absorbing up? So based off of how they're growing the weed, I think is based off of how you're getting that strain. Because they might
so many variables that go
absolutely.
into it.
Some brands use like a peat moss on the top of their soil that pulls the metals out of it. So the metals aren't even in the soil that's growing your flower.
So do you have a specific brand that you really love?
Yeah. I have.
That reaches all these. Yeah. Like for the viewers that like, I want a very safe, a clean, effective, a well-grown, less pesticides.
I was going to say, I don't give my money to the dispos for flour. I have a grower.
She supports small business.
I do,
Which is great. Well, you can promote your grower.
But yes, I was going to say. So I promote like the genetics that he has, and he does have stuff with Lost Dutchman. He does grow himself. He has a home grow. But because we are able to have a certain amount of plants ourselves, now we can actually grow ourselves. And then we know from seed to bud exactly where it went.
That's my next, when I get a house.
Yeah.
So
that would be a fun venture.
And I have tons of people that would come on and help plant the seed and how you started it and germinate it and get it all ready. And I know people that are actually making their own strains, so crossbreeding themselves and getting into genetics.
Too.
Yeah. Mitch is like the king of like making his own stuff.
Yeah, he'd be interesting. We should have him on.
Yeah, he sounds like a wealth of
I was going to say you probably want to go there to
see
the plant.
Yes, that'd be fun.
We want to start doing that and do on location places for people with businesses. You know what I mean? Because it just makes
it's more interactive.
Well, I mean, and he just grows, but he is amazing. Like he completely understands the grow, and he's been working on how to like keep basically like pollinating the mother plant and how to keep it going longer than it should be. How do you like overflower and he's basically like, I joke, messing with Mother Nature, but in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
All right, bitch,
the Martha Stewart of marijuana.
Yeah, the Martha Stewart of marijuana.
There we go.
That's you. Yes. No, you're the Martha Stewart of marijuana right here.
I was like, I don't know if he does crafts, but maybe.
With his buds, he just makes wreaths.
Right? But I mean, there was he grew a plant that literally they held me this way, and it was wider than I am long. Granted, I'm not the tallest human,
so
but
it's like
still.
a giant Christmas tree.
So it was huge. And those were outside. I mean, anyone that can grow cannabis in Arizona outside.
Wow.
I know. I know. Cannabis is actually a fairly easy plant to grow, but to get like the really good buds like he does, you have to give it lots of love. But that's why I find it so funny, because they're like, oh, cannabis, the devil's lettuce. And I'm like, you just flick a seed and it'll grow. You just have to like give it love to make it better.
Mm-hmm. I still think it was just over controlled because it made people not conform.
So I thought, and they used to use it, if you look it up, Mexicans used it for healing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so
there's
they were like...
That's the other thing, too, is like they were trying to demonize races. Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is racial things. Like, this race uses it. Jazz musicians used it. Yeah. They're all mostly primarily black. And so it's like, so they could arrest them.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and now they're finding other plants actually have endocannabinoids in them and CBD in it, and it's not even marijuana. There's two ways, actually, that you can get CBD, too. Either from a hemp plant or from a cannabis plant before it's flowered.
Oh.
Yeah, because
then when it flowers, that's
it turns into THC. Because it pollinates.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So it has to be pollinated to turn to THC.
Well, and the right plant, yes, because a hemp plant will still flower, but it's just a hemp. It doesn't have THC in it. Yeah.
But that's so cool. I love that. Well,
there's so many things to learn.
Thank you so much for coming on. You've been a wealth of knowledge, and it's been so great having you and helping us learn a little bit more about the cannabis industry. Because there's so much information out there, and a lot of people don't even think about it. Mm-hmm. But it could be something that could be beneficial for you. That's natural and an easy alternative than taking Xanax every night to calm down.
And it's not just smoking. There's
many ways. You don't even have to get high. You have the CBN, the CBG, the CBD.
Right.
You got everything.
Yeah, and I'll come back. We'll talk about endocannabinoids and different ways to use.
It's the plant that keeps giving, and we're definitely going to have you back to keep this going.
Seriously. Yay!
Well, thank you all for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Unmask Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Kaylee.
Bye, everybody. Be kind to each other and smoke and pet a puppy.
Yes.